Honorable Minister, without taking much of your time, I want to give you indulgence to invite Mr. President to just say a word or two for the purpose of our coming here.
All members of the ministry, the directors and other the agencies in the ministry, my colleagues from the Nigerian section, let us first of all congratulate this administration, President Betta Edu. Apparently, it's behind a humanitarian leading government that is concerned for humanity, giving hope that really need to be assisted, and the highly vulnerable ones who many times are exposed to danger and become vulnerable and say, well, we identify with you. This ministry has been a partner for them, but particularly now that we are there, because you being there now, the general society is at the head of this ministry, and we appreciate God for this way. There are a lot of things that we should place before you, but we know that our technical team, with your technical team, we do the details. Having been informed that we have very short time, and because we know you have this very busy schedule also, but at the same time, we function on your core activities, on your core values, on your core objectives, and that's why those core elements we have skills, and to thank God we have a very strong 800,000 membership across Nigeria. But then it is not sufficient for a population of over 200 million people. To say we can easily build resilience with just 800%, because the achievement of effective resilience in disaster management is when you can have at least a relief or humanitarian service provider everywhere or anywhere that's disaster or any vulnerability local, and we don't have that. Distributed over 774 local governments, maybe we are still a close shortage of membership. We need to think about this. Now, this organization, 63 years old, does not have a headquarters in Abuja. And we also want to please try and convince your colleagues in the executive council that Red Cross membership is not the issue. The issue is that all through disasters, various forms of disasters, and various levels of needs. And we want to assure you, even if we have a lot of database that can make use of, reaching the poor, reaching the needy, we have a lot of database. Very reliable database. The Nigerian records are not give any fake database. And when you reach them through us, you will already have an impactful, active picture. So thank you. So just to summarize it.
To have you as President of Red Cross in Nigeria, and your wonderful team, the Secretary General, and all the members of the team in my office today. This is the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, and we have very, very strong collaborations with NGOs and organizations that are concerned with humanitarian interventions. Red Cross, like you said, is over 63 years old, and it's one of the lead organizations in terms of responding to humanitarian crisis in Nigeria. We appreciate the hard work you do, and we want to encourage you to continue to do even more Like you said, the technical team on ground, we work with our technical team to see areas of collaboration. We have a pitch deck, we're happy to share it with you and work with you on it. But more importantly is the fact that we need you to really be at the forefront of government, delivering on government programs, government commitments, and several other things out to the organization and support some of your operations, especially when it has to do with our areas of concern. For the headquarters, that will have to be a special appeal to Mr. President the day you see him. So he can ask maybe the FCT minister, somebody at that level who is in charge of land, the buildings, and the rest of it to make one available to the Nigerian Red Cross. But I'm sure that's one of the things he would very probably like to do. I know he is one who is highly concerned about humanitarian issues and liberating people from poverty, and so this would be something that he would do without even batting an eyelid. We can create that enabling environment for you to meet with him and the right people. So this, what we do is respond to humanitarian crisis and also try to lift people out of poverty. So that's really where our limits start. Once again, I want to thank you most profoundly for finding out time to come with your team. We are willing to work and collaborate with you. By the time we add your team together with our humanitarian workers that are already in the field at different locations, dealing with the issue of responding, first responders, second responders, and the rest of it in humanitarian crisis, dealing with the issue of migration in and out of Nigeria through the Refugee Commission, Refugee Americans Commission, and of course dealing with several other issues that Red Cross is fully involved.
If I have your indulgence, and that one last thing is that please provide the room for us to give for free first aid training program for all members of the executive council. We will treat them for free, like no concepts.
Good. So what you do is just write the letter to me officially,
Okay.
then I'll make the member cancel.